Good morning, my dear students. In this class, we are going to continue with a topic, non-contact force. What we are going to discuss? Non-contact force. Under this topic, we are going to discuss what is magnetic force. We already know light poles repel each other. Light poles repel each other. What is light poles? Yes, the positive and positive are light poles. It is repel each other. Next, unlike poles attract each other. Unlike poles attract each other. See, what is unlike poles? Yes, the positive and negative poles are called as unlike poles. Unlike poles, what happens? It will attract each other. Do you understand? Okay. Now I am going to explain the meaning of non-contact force. See, for example, take this is a magnet. What I am going to do is, I am taking another magnet and come closer or near to this magnet. What happens? Yes, automatically this magnet will attract this magnet. How it is possible? Yes, due to non-contact force. Okay, see here, I am taking a magnet and come close near this magnet. Automatically, this magnet attracts this magnet. How it is possible? I am not giving any contact. Fully, I am not giving contact with these two magnets. But how this magnet is attracting this magnet? Yes, there is some invisible force present between this magnet. For this condition only, this magnet automatically attract this magnet. Okay, invisible force means what? That we cannot see with our naked eye. Okay, that force we call it as a non-contact force. Do you understand, students? See here, non-contact force means a magnet can exert on another. A magnet can exert on another without being in contact with it. Without being in contact with it, the magnet is attracting another magnet. So that we call it as a non-contact force. Do you understand, students, what is non-contact force? Very good. Next, we are going to discuss what is electrostatic force. First, we are going to see the definition of electrostatic force. The force exerted by a charged body on another charged body. A force exerted by a charged body on another charged body or uncharged body is called as an electrostatic force. Do you understand the definition, students? Okay, for that we are going to see an example. Consider, first you take a star. You take a star and you cut the star into two pieces. And one piece of the star you take and you tie with the help of the thread. Okay, one star is tied with the help of the thread. Okay, what happens? The remaining another piece of the star you take and you rub the star with the white paper. Okay, rub the star with the white paper and immediately you take the star and go and come near this star. What happens? Yes, this star will automatically attract with this star. It will combine with this star. Why? Because due to some electrostatic force between these two stars. Do you understand, students, what is electrostatic force? Okay, another example. This you can do in your home. Take a balloon and give air to the balloon. Okay, and tie with the help of the thread and keep it one side. And take a white paper and cut the white paper into bit of small piece of paper and keep it on a table. What happens? You take a balloon and go near the piece of a white paper. What happens? Yes, the white paper will attract it with this balloon. Why? Because some forces. What is that some force? That is a electrostatic force between the paper and the balloon. Do you understand, students, what is electrostatic force? The force exerted by a charged body on another charged body or uncharged body, we call it as an electrostatic force. Do you understand, students? Next we are going to see what is gravitational force. thing that fall towards the earth. Object or thing fall towards the earth because it pulls them. Because it pulls them. Okay. So this force is called as a force of gravity or gravitational force. Okay. This is the definition of gravitational force. Object or things fall towards the earth because it pulls them. This force is called as a force of gravity or a gravitational force. Okay. See here, I am holding this scale. If I put this, if I remove my hand, what happens? The scale will fall down. Why the scale is falling down? Because due to some gravitational force. If there is no gravitational force, what happens? Yes, the scale will not go down. It will lie on the air. Okay. For that purpose, the gravitational force is very, very important. You understand, students? See, another example for gravitational force. Coin or a pen falls to the ground. Coin or a pen falls to the ground when it slips off your hand. Okay. Coin or a pen falls to the ground when it slips off your hand. This is also one of the examples for gravitational force. Next, leaves or fruits also fall to the ground. Okay, the leaves and the fruits from the tree will fall towards the ground or the earth. How? Why? Because due to some gravitational force. Do you understand, students? What is gravitational force and examples of gravitational force? Very good. Next we are going to see what is pressure. What is pressure? Pressure means the force acting on a unit area of a surface. The force acting on a unit area of a surface is called as a pressure. Okay. The formula for pressure is equal to force by area. Pressure is equal to what? Force by area. You understand? Next we are going to see the example for pressure. Try to push a nail into a wooden plank. What they are saying? They are trying to push a nail into a wooden plank. See, this is a wooden plank. Consider this a wooden plank. It is a iron nail or a nail. Okay. What they are saying? They are trying to push a nail into the wooden plank. They are pushing a nail into this wooden plank. How it is possible? Yes, due to pressure. How we can able to give the pressure? Only with the help of the hammer. Only with the help of the hammer we can able to give pressure to this iron nail. Automatically the iron nail will push towards this wooden plank. Do you understand, students? The example for the pressure. Next we are going to see how a pressure exerted by liquid and gases. Okay, what we are going to see? How a pressure exerted by liquid and gases. For that they are performing an activity. For this activity the required apparatus is thin transparent glass tube or plastic pipe. This is a thin transparent glass tube and also with a length of 15 centimeter. They are taking thin transparent glass tube of 15 centimeter length and they are taking a quality rubber sheet. They are taking quality rubber sheet and they are inserting in the end of the thin transparent glass tube. Okay, they are taking a quality rubber sheet and they are fixing in the end of the thin transparent glass tube or a plastic pipe. Okay, next what they are doing? They are tightly holding in the middle of the thin transparent glass tube. They are tightly holding and asking another person to pour some water. To pour some water inside this thin transparent glass tube. What happens? They are asking that whether this rubber sheet will bulge. They are asking a question that after pouring some amount of water, this rubber sheet can bulge. No, not at all possible. Okay, this is one case. Keep it one side. Next, simultaneously, in second case, what they are doing? they are adding some more amount of water in this thin transparent sheet. Thin transparent glass tube or a plastic pipe, and automatically the rubber sheet bulge. Why? Because due to some pressure. Because we are in this case we are pouring only little amount of water. Only little pressure is given to this thin transparent glass tube, so that only the rubber sheet is not bulging. Okay. Simultaneously, in this case, we are pouring more amount of water. Okay, we are pouring more amount of water. Automatically, the rubber sheet is bulged due to pressure. We should give maximum pressure. Do you understand this activity, students? Okay. Next, we are going to see another activity, 11.10. Okay. Take a empty glass plastic bottle. Take a empty plastic bottle or a cylindrical container. We can take either plastic bottle or a cylindrical container. See, this is a plastic bottle, okay? And drill 4 holes all around near the bottom of the bottle. We can drill the 4 holes in the bottom of the bottle. And the holes, it is very, very important. The holes should be at same height. All the 4 holes should be what height? It should be in a same height. And now fill the bottle with the water. Now fill some amount of water into this bottle. Okay. See. Does the water coming out of the holes at the same distance? They are asking. Does the water coming out of the bottle is the same distance? They are asking. Yes, the water coming out of the holes is the same distance. Why? Because we are marking hole in the same height. Okay, then the water that comes out of the bottle also in the same volume. Do you understand, students, this activity 11.10? See, first they are taking a empty plastic bottle or a cylindrical container and they are drilling 4 holes in the bottom of the bottle. They are asking the question that does the water coming out of these holes should be same? They are asking. Should be same? Yes. Why it should be same? Because we are drilling the holes with the same height. So that only the water coming out of the bottle in the same volume. Do you understand, students? Next we are going to discuss 2 questions. See, first question. When you inflate a balloon, why do you have to close its mouth? When you inflate, what is the meaning of inflate, students? Inflate means if you are giving air to the balloon. Okay, that only is the meaning of an inflate. Why do you have to close its mouth? Why after giving air to the balloon, why we are closing its mouth? Yes, because pressure given by the balloon will remain there. For that purpose only, we are after giving air to the air, we are closing its mouth. Do you understand this question? Okay. Second question. If you have a balloon which has a holes, would you be able to inflate it? They are asking a question. You have a balloon which has a holes. You can able to give air to that balloon? No, not at all possible. Why? Because air exerted, air released in all directions. Why? Because the balloon has a holes. Do you understand this question? Good. Next we are going to see what is atmospheric pressure. Air is present all around us. This you all know already. Air is present all around us. This envelope of air is known as atmosphere. This envelope of air is known as what? Atmosphere. The atmospheric air extends up to many kilometers above the surface of the earth. The atmospheric air extends up to how many kilometers? Many kilometers above the surface of the earth. Okay. Now I am going to define what is atmospheric pressure. The pressure exerted by this air. The pressure exerted by this air or the atmospheric air is known as an atmospheric pressure. Do you understand? The pressure exerted by this air or an atmospheric air call that as an atmospheric pressure. Do you understand what is atmospheric pressure, students? Next. Once again I am going to explain what is atmospheric pressure. The pressure exerted by this air or atmospheric air is known as atmospheric pressure. Do you understand, students? Do you understand all the concepts which are revised in these classes? Very good. Next I am going to give instruction regarding classwork writing. Write the short answer in your classwork note without fail. Refer the PDF which is attached with this video. Thank you, students.